Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have a double top 16 breakdown, technically a top 15 and a top 16 breakdown, but it is the Chile Grand Open as well as the online battle event that was hosted on June 11th that happened this weekend. So both events I want to go over, both events that are on my website right now, so make sure to hit the link in the description to go check out these deck lists for yourself, and as well as I am on the road right now too, so sorry for any just a drop in audio and video quality, but I wanted to get this out to you guys, and let's get on into it. So first, the Chile Grand Open. It is we I just don't have one of the top 16 lists, so that's why it's a top 15. It's one in the top 16 side. So, but it was 65 people, and we'll see that something that's unique to me, at least interesting to me, is that most card games people stay in their regions, but this was Chile, and we had Alex Blandon who got second place at the Las Vegas pre-release the launch tournament, getting first place with Red Pterosaur, which he's been playing for a long time. So really cool to see him, and you'll see a couple other names that you might recognize on this the Chile side. But we had 4 Red Pterosaurs, 4 purple mid range, 3 white controls, 2 white aggros, a Fabled Beast, and a white mid range on this one. And then also for the June 11th online event too, we did have, I believe it's 7 rounds, and so we have a bunch of these people going 6-1, and so good luck on your tiebreakers, Luis, getting that first place finish there. And then it was 95 players, and yeah, 7 rounds of Swiss, no top cut. So this is webcam. This is the first webcam event they've ever had. It looks and obviously, there was no money on the line for this one. It's more just packs and participation and that sort of stuff. But it was a very large tournament, almost 100 players, and so I want to go through those results there too. So Luis did take it with purple mid range, and it was 5 red Pterosaur, 4 purple mid range, 3 fabled, 1 red Nova, 1 purple aggro, 1 purple control, and a white control. So Nova, after only showing up pretty much for launch weekend and not again, getting into a top 16 is really exciting there. And in general, you'll see that maybe white hasn't been doing as well. And if we look at like the Palm Springs Grand Open that we did have white aggro win the entire event, but now it's not even barely on the pie charts between the two of them. So since this is a double event, I'm doing something a little bit different, where it's just just my choices for decks we're going to cover a little bit, just because I don't have that much time either. So we're just going to go over a couple lists for these. But again, if you guys want any of these lists, they're linked in the description on my website, so make sure to check those out. So we're going to start off with Alex Blandon's first place Red Pterosaur. And I don't really have a lot to say about this deck. It's been pretty much looking like this since conception. Pretty much, I don't think Alex has been changing this deck list at all. I think third place also used pretty much the exact same list, and I guess I didn't really mention it either. Top 4 of the entire top 4 for this event were all red Pterosaurs with minor variations on it. So a very, very strong deck. Obviously, I think that's something not too surprising for a lot of people. It's been very good since conception, I would say, and it's been very strong. So even the sideboard is pretty much the cards I've been seeing for them. Maybe there have been some minor tweaks from there, but Alex has been playing this deck. He helped create this deck too, and it's been doing very good. So congrats to Alex for their first place finish there. Next up we have Luis, who won the online event. So this is their purple mid range, and just note, purple's really, really, really hard to categorize. Like there's aggro, which kind of makes sense when you see more of the Nemesis package and everything else. But after that, it's a bit of a crapshoot. So if you guys disagree with any of my namings of like mid-range control, what have you, please let me know. But purple is just kind of difficult for me to it's harder to categorize than everything else. But we do see a lot of the standard kind of purple stuff at this point. Purple did pretty well this weekend. I think between both of them we had I think almost 8 lists between both, like just running more purple. So pretty good standings for that there. But this list, I don't think there's anything too flashy from this. We are pretty deep into this meta too. We do have some spoilers for set 2 and everything else coming down the line. So I think this is more of just kind of seeing what we're expecting for a lot of this. Core Drain being, I think, a staple that more people are adding to the deck too. And then just everything else. Also having the Dream Bomb in the main as well, kind of interesting. I think that helps get removed some cards that you need to, and that can be kind of tricky. So, anyways, here's the list there. Congratulations to Luis for getting first place there. Next up, we have our top. I guess we're going to go through a couple purple decks, honestly, right now, just because again they're kind of harder to categorize, and so This is Jaron Franco's top 8 purple hippo from the Chile event, and this is a I'd almost say this is like truly mid-range. We'll see like a lot of like we do see Hippocampo, which I think has just been slowly creeping up as one of the better cards in the set, which is super funny to me for a lot of ways. But yeah, still very solid. We see the Pegasion as well as just a really good defensive tool too. So I think that's helpful for the deck. And just seeing like a little bit of the white, but then we also have like the Nemesis, which is very aggressive, and then still like the generic Baculus and Curse Dragon combo at the top. So kind of interesting ratios for this one. There's also 3 of the Turbo Rex in the side here. We also have the Valkyrie Mist and the Fortress Nexus as well. So definitely can tech into white on the side, which I think is interesting too, and can be very defensive if needed to. So I think probably going against like more aggressive red decks is the idea for what this can tech into. Obviously with Hippocampo and getting the Bless skill can help you out there. And again, just a really interesting build. So congratulations to Jaron Franco for their finish there. And we have Aandroidd's aggressive deck. So I would say this one's more aggressive. We see like the 4 copies of Nemesis. We see also the Maduke, which I like. Maduke is just kind of like, even though you'd think it's like more of a control card, but it's more of just like for that last bit of chip damage at the end if your opponent's being very defensive oriented. So very strong there. I do like Feral Slash in this deck. I know when I first saw this card, and something that's really, really cool to me in this game is that there's just so many cards I look at and I'm like, man, this is bad. I don't think this card good. Why would they print this card? And then I see it in action. I see it being played like, oh man, this is actually really good. I see why it's actually like this way and why they didn't make it any better. So I think Feral Slash is something that is approaching that for me. I think it's strong and it's a good promo. Even just like a 2 of on off-color decks, and if you don't have like a lot of burst in your decks either, it can be very good there too. And then just kind of like the standard side package of more slashes, more burning forces, and angelic pressure to help you get around those armors, I believe. So, anyways, congratulations to Aandroidd for their finish there. Next up, we have Amani Edwards with their purple control. So, this one I'm leaning more control, and mostly because we have just so much of this. As you see, like more and more of this white is creeping into purple, at least for some of these topping lists, which is really interesting. So it has the Turbo Rex, and it also has the armored Enterprise Dream Bombs. I'm sure, yeah, a little bit more of the white in the side, including the Axe Breaker, the new promo for you there. So interesting build. I think it's more just kind of getting advantage and control. I would not expect this to be more aggressive, and you know I like Pentacles, so it's a good add there. So that's something that kind of maybe tips it to control sometimes too, and like soul control. But I think there it's also like an Alice on the side, so a lot of interesting choices for this. This also was a 53 card deck, which I think almost every other list we go over is a 50 card list there too. So, anyways, that's Amani's list. There, congrats on their top 16 there. Moving along, we do have Joaquin Flores' top 8 white control from the Chile Grand Open 2. And Joaquin is definitely like a really good player. I've seen him a couple times already in some of these tops too. So and white control again, I think is getting a little bit less favorable right now. I think it's understood what the deck can do, and you can kind of see that if you can out either not aggressive in it, but just kind of play around what their outs are, you can do very well. And I think more people are playing ways to out Elk. We've seen so many of the Dream Bombs in the main deck too, which is really strong. So that's the idea there. But we don't have any of the Axe Biters in the main or any of the new promos for this one. This is just strictly a set 1 list here too. So interesting. But yeah, Turbo Rex is definitely a card that more and more people are running this weekend, which I think was really interesting. And there's just so many times where like the meta for this game, even though it's just one meta and we've had like a minor amount of changing card pool, there's just so many rotations of people saying, oh, actually this card's good now, and like rotating it in and that kind of stuff, which I think is cool. So anyways, congratulations to Joaquin for their top 8, and this is their deck list here. We got 3 more lists we want to cover today. So we have Kalon's 4th place, Nova. And again, we haven't seen Nova in a long time. We didn't see it pretty much until like the launch events around the world. People were playing launch events, and then after that, they're like, "Oh, actually, Red Pterosaur is better for like the same package, or at least like the same colors and stuff." But still being able to make it work for this online event here, and going 5-2 with it. So some modern changes I'd say that we have is that we do have the Baculus in the deck, which I think is strong, especially since it can be a card for the Awaken here. And or being able to what's the word? Ascend. Sorry, ascend into your Nova if you need to. Obviously, you don't get the heal, but still being able to go up into this guy is pretty good. We also have some Derm Dinos here too, and a little bit of like not like as many weenies as we've seen in previous, just like a lot of more control cards like Ice Shields, and then 3 of the Big Bang Energy, and kind of going from there. Sideboards, nothing too crazy. Another Baculus, another a Pegasione, and some white burst cards there. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if Nova can really come back and be strong here. I think it's something that could be good against Yellow. I think it has a good matchup against Yellow, which was pretty popular for this event and for the previous weeks too. So that could be like a tech choice or just a meta call for it. But that is the deck list there. And congratulations to Kalong for their finish. We also do have Espira, so this is George Money's list. No doubt he's going to make a video on his channel, so make sure to check out George on YouTube too. But I do think he's been playing pretty much something different every event, which is really admirable. Like being able to switch through different deck lists and different archetypes and still get mostly tops on every one of these. So and also just to fly all the way down to Chile to do this too. So and with the Magic 53 cards here. So but this is more of I would say like mid-range. I wouldn't say like it's super control. We don't even see Elk in this build either, which is why I'm saying it's more of a mid-range board than that. But then like we see like Regain in here. We see again the Turbo Rex. We see the Beldegor for I guess like your Valkyrie Mist and your Greymar and your Axebite and your not your Pegasione, but like there's a bunch of cards that this can come back with, which is great. And something that like this is kind of tempting in white in general because you don't get a lot of card draw on cycle, but you do kind of get some cores available to you. You do have some like ramping, especially if you hit like a Nomen So being able to like recycle from the trash with this card, I think is good there. And then just like your more tech cards for red, and if you want to be more controlling, you have some armored guys there, Enterprises. So anyways, really neat list, and congratulations to George there. Make sure to check out his channel. No doubt he's going to make a deck profile if he hasn't already. And lastly, we have Anthony Alvarez's with their white control list, and this one's a little bit different. He specifically said it was Spellslinger, and I think it is different enough with ratios to kind of call it out. So there's just like a bunch of spells in this, or magic cards in this one. So we have like the Enterprise, which means you get your cores back at the start of your turn, which is great for if you have like a lot of like your defensive or offensive magic cards here, like Dream Bomb, Suppression. We have Burning Force, we have Draw, we have Regain, we have Holy Elixir. Like there's just a bunch of cards in this that normally don't see play, especially in a white list. So really interesting list for this one, and so just trying to be defensive. We see like 4 copies of the Axe Spider, which can be really good for protecting your Nexus as well. So like if you like, the biggest thing with Enterprise is that it's really good, but it's only during your opponent's attack step you get the cores back. And so if your opponent just says, oh, well, I'm just going to Burning Force it, and then you were expecting to get 6 cores back, and then you have 0 back, you usually just lose the game. But with Axe Spider, being able to use this to protect it and the mothership means that you can really confidently say, okay, I'm going to use all these cores. I know I'm going to get them back, and then I'm going to have all these spells ready for me for that too. So I think that's really interesting, and it definitely worked out for him. So congratulations to Anthony on their finish there. But that's going to be it. That's going to be my top 16 breakdown for both these events. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys want any of these deck lists, make sure to check out my website, and that's going to be it for me. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.